Hello, ladies. This is Beverly with Beverly Hills Health and Wellness Coaching. How are you doing? Welcome into 2025. And let's have a conversation around this new year and all of the change that's going to probably show up in your world. So if we haven't met before, I'm Beverly with Beverly Hills Health and Wellness Coaching. I'm a certified health coach, and I'm the founder of the Body and Lifestyle Academy, where I help women to break through the stigma of menopause and lean into a fabulous, confident, and sexy new vision of themselves through a holistic journey that I refer to as stepping into a powerful next level life. So I was having coffee chats pretty consistently through 2025. Through 2024. So I want to switch things up a little bit, change, and do something a little different for 2025. So I'd love for you to chime in and let me know what your thoughts are on how we could have a regular conversation. I'm thinking about a friend and I used to have a sip and chat. So I'm thinking about like the wine hour, like wine and bitch about menopause and just bring your glass of wine, but also elevated that it's not like a bitching session, or we can change the coffee chat to like tea time or something. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But I want to have these conversations because change is happening. There's a lot that's happening with the movement of the earth. We have fires that are happening. We've got all types of snowstorms happening. This is the rolling of 2025. So to me, the way it comes in is probably indicative of some of the things that we're going to be seeing in our lives as a part of 2025. So I have some notes. I want to maybe keep this around 10 minutes because there's a lot to digest. First of all, I want to say change is something that is inevitable. Inevitable. You have to really lean into change because if you don't, it can take you under. Like, I've heard people talk about this analogy, like they went out swimming and the current changed and they were like fighting current, fighting the current, fighting the current, and they felt like they were drowning. And they got to a place where they just gave up, and they some kind of way in that calm was moved out of that undercurrent into a space that they can swim back. And that's what we have to do when we're incurring this volatile period and this change. I think about women that I've had conversations with regarding that menopause journey. And I know every woman's journey is different. Sometimes there's something going on in addition to menopause, but overall, removing, all outside forces, and you just look about the natural process of menopause, it's a natural process. And you can bitch and complain about it, and it's not going to make it any better. You need to lean into it. You need to listen to what your body's asking and answer that call, answer that request, listen intuitively to what your body's asking for. Your body's not being mean and cruel and trying to do all of these things to make life miserable for you, which is what a lot of the conversation seems to be around. And I feel like that conversation is coming from a narrative in society that's out to place women in a place of insignificance once they get to this stage of life. And I'm here to tell you that's the biggest farce if you're buying into it, because it is a metamorphosis that is happening to us during menopause. And the one thing that I can think about is like the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. Like literally, you cannot live your life as a caterpillar forever. There is a time when you're going to have to get into this space of darkness and go through this metamorphosis that is hard and is painful and is difficult for you to come out on the other side and be this beautiful butterfly. So if you're finding that you're in the midst of this cocooning and it's difficult and it's hard, seek out support, get some help. For some, it might be getting prescriptions for pharmaceutical. That's not the space that I teach from. That's not the space that I advocate, but everybody that's going through this process has to find their voice and find their way to navigate and manage. If you're looking for a natural, holistic place, I'm here to tell you it can be done. That's what I did, and I'm grateful for it. I don't have a lot of side effects that came along with menopause. It's like, okay, my body's changing. What do I need to do to lean into this period of time to answer what my body wants so I can be the best version of myself? And you can do that too, ladies. I'm just here to let you know that there's so much ahead. There's so much ahead, but you have to be able to quiet the outside noise, all of the peripheral conversations around you're not this or you're not yet. That's a bunch of BS. It's absolutely a bunch of BS. So I feel like I'm on a tangent. I'm already way beyond the time that I want it to be. So I guess I'm going to come back with a couple of more conversations because I really want to have you to own the change that's happening in your life. So I have some notes. Let me see if I can point out a couple of things about change that can be a takeaway before we go into the next one. Change is something that is uncomfortable. There's no doubt about it. When this butterfly emerges, that process when it was inside the cocoon was literally a dissolving, a liquefaction of what was once the caterpillar. And that's what change is about. It is meant to remove those things that are not serving you to get you to the next phase, the next place, the next chapter of your life. If you think of a woman going through menopause. So if your body's like showing up with extra pounds, what is it that your body is saying when you see those extra pounds on the scale? Literally, it is saying, I am undernourished at this stage. The way you were feeding me or taking care of me in the past will not work for us today. So please give me something nutritional so we can thrive going forward. That's what you need to understand. What is it you need to change, modify, and what do you need to incorporate to be this best version of yourself going forward on this journey as you're going into the menopausal phase? Um, the takeaway, as I'm looking at the time, I would say is really about the mindset. It's really about the mindset. I have to say, when I was on this menopause journey, I knew that there was something that was amiss, but I didn't really know what it was. I noticed that when I looked down on the scale, those numbers were not familiar with me. I didn't understand what was happening. They usually were pretty consistent. I hadn't changed the way I was eating. I hadn't changed my exercise. I hadn't changed. It's like all of a sudden, this is what was showing up. And then little by little, I noticed other little things. There were small things, but not major things. But it's just like my body was like, I'm going to give you this hint. Something's up. I need some attention. Or I'm going to give you one more hint. I need some attention. And then after a while, collectively, when you look and you see, like, oh, okay, my body's talking to me. And let me see what I need to do to address the concern that's showing up. I've never once hated my body. Like, the fact that we're here in this life against all odds of the sperm and the egg meeting and going through the 9 months and going through the delivery, the fact that we're here is a miracle. So I love my body and I will never beat my body up. There's always room for improvement. You see, like, oh, there's an extra inch here or somewhere. It's like, okay, so what do I need to do to adjust that? Or is this something that my body is trying to find a new normal and I just need to love myself? But we don't need to love ourselves in an unhealthy state. So understanding the dynamics between the two. So getting back to the takeaway, it is the mindset, ladies. You absolutely have to get out of this space of thinking that, oh, I'm old and I'm not relevant and aging is this horrible thing. Honey, I love every year of life that I see because I know people on this journey that even are younger than me that just did not make it. So I will never complain about any age that I see. I'm grateful for it. And if there's something that I can do to be better, if there's a team of people I need to bring into my circle, I will do that. I have an esthetician, I have a masseuse, I have a spa person. Like I have a litany of people that I work with to allow me to be fully like happy and fulfilled in this body that I have. And it's not showing up in the doctor's office with a handful of prescriptions for me. I had a personal trainer, I had a Pilates instructor. Like I am constantly reevaluating where I am in my life and what I need to do to adjust to this phase. I love yoga. I have yoga class that I sometimes am in, and I know enough of yoga. I've been doing yoga ever since college that I can do it on my own. But just find your team, find your tribe, find your community, find your support to get you to that space that you can be the best version of yourself during this journey. So it's about the mindset. So let's zero in on that. And whatever we're thinking, let's try to remove those negative thoughts and bring in some positive thoughts. This is 2025. It's a year of change, and it can be the opportunity to be the best version of yourself. So, with that, ladies, I'm going to close out and we will come back with another conversation around the change. There is so much that I want to share on change. And if you can get it, if you can lean into it, you will be powerful and dynamic and definitely live a next level life in menopause. So I'm Beverly with Beverly Hills Health and Wellness Coaching. I'm also a podcaster. My podcast is on my YouTube and it's entitled The Sexy Side of Menopause. So I encourage you to check it out. Also subscribe, like, share. I am trying to build my community. And this is all in service to you, ladies. I want you to have the most fabulous life possible, and don't let anybody steal the amazing path that's for you as you're navigating this menopause. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye, ladies.